Allison. I also run a storytelling show and podcast named Risk, where people tell true stories they never thought they'd dare to share in public. So be sure and check out the podcast because there's all sorts of well-known people telling outrageous stories on it. And we also do a live show at the Pit, the People's Improv Theater, once a month. But tonight we're going to focus on our 4 students, and we didn't come up with an order. They decided that I should choose their names randomly, like at a classic story slam. So I'm going to get the ball rolling here, and let's see who's going to start us off. It is Abel Horowitz.
Yay.
Thank you. I have 4, maybe 5 people who told me they'd show up who aren't here yet. So that's fun. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Like, that's not part of the story. That's me telling you right now. I didn't think I was going to go first. I thought I'd go last and I'd close this. And it'd be a very nice way to end. Because for those of you who do know me, and thank you for coming, you know already that at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning I'm getting on a plane and I'm moving out of New York City. I'm moving to Los Angeles to pursue acting, and I thought that I would warm into my story by telling you how I came to this decision. I've always known, it's always been in the back of my mind, like, I love movies, I like acting, but I wouldn't listen to that voice that was in my head. But it kept getting louder, and when I moved to New York, it got very loud, because there are professional actors here. And, sorry. And one day I am at lunch with my great aunt, my great uncle, my grandmother, and my cousin. And we haven't seen each other in a while, so we're having a very basic conversation. And when there's a lull in the conversation, I say, look, I have this on my mind. I'm thinking about Los Angeles, and I'm thinking about pursuing acting. And I know it's scary. I know that a lot of people fail at it. And I'm terrified of it, but should I do this? And they're my family, and they love me, and they're very supportive of me. And so they say, you know what, do whatever you want. We love you. We'll always be there for you. And then my great uncle, Erwin, is his name. Very, very, he has a good presence. He has great gray hair. He's a lawyer. He just has something about him. And he kind of leans back and he says, when I was a little boy, I wanted to be a race car driver. He says that all his heroes were race car drivers. He even had, like, he would drive, and he thought he was pretty good at it. And he went to his mother, my great-grandmother, and he said, Mom, I want to be a race car driver when I grow up. And his father had recently passed away, and she said, no, you need to support the family, you need to become a lawyer. And he did. And he raised 2 sons who are now a doctor and a lawyer, and he's had a very good life. But for him to say this, and the look in his eyes, the look of this in his eyes, he never forgot that feeling. He never forgot that little boy who always had a dream and who never went for it. And I knew at that moment that I had to go for it. So I don't know what's going to happen to me when I get on this airplane tomorrow. But I would rather have tried and failed than never tried at all. So that's my opening. I was 10 when Jurassic Park came out. And dinosaurs had always been a very big part of my life. They just were, because I was a little boy, right? I had dinosaur stuffed animals. I had, I liked going to the museum. I was that kid, but nothing could prepare me for the majesty that was Jurassic Park. I remember there was this one boy in my 3rd grade class who saw it, and he came back the next day with this look in his eyes, because it was a PG-13 movie, and it was about dinosaurs, and scary stuff happened in this movie, and he kind of was quiet. And then the next day, another boy went to go see Jurassic Park, and these two guys would go off into the corner, and they'd start talking about this movie, like, that scene. And then, like, the 3rd day, a girl went to go see this movie. So suddenly, like, you know, my class is dividing between the people who have seen Jurassic Park and those who have not seen Jurassic Park. And I go to my mom, and I say, Mom, there's a movie. It's about dinosaurs. It's very educational. But it's rated PG-13, and I was wondering if it was all right if I saw this movie. And my mother says, you know what, we're actually going to go see this movie. On Friday with the museum. The museum's having a special showing of it, and we're going to go to it. And Friday, for a 10-year-old boy, might as well be, you know, when the next Olympics are. I mean, it's just... so I have to wait until Friday, and meanwhile, all the other children are going to go see Jurassic Park. So I'm feeling more and more excluded, but I keep waiting and waiting and waiting until finally it's Friday. Now, going to the movies as a little boy, I love them. I've always loved them. But it was scary. Like, I had to sit in the back row center. I couldn't get there after the lights went down and the trailer started, because that meant, obviously, I missed the movie. You might as well not even go. But by the time we get there, there's a crowd. So I'm already nervous. This is a nervous child. So I'm already nervous about that we're going to miss the beginning of the movie. And I know that I'm not going to be able to sit in the back. And they split us off. So my brother and my father go into one theater, and my mother and I go into another theater. And I love my mom, but clearly if the dinosaurs are going to attack, I'd rather be next to my father. And I'd also rather be as far back in the theater as possible. But no, that's not what happens. We have to sit in the left middle, and the lights go down, and I know that this is how I'm going to die. John Williams' score comes up. The first guy is eaten by the velociraptor. My heart is pounding. You know, introduce the main characters, go back to the island, Brontosaurus, music goes up, they have a T-Rex. It's going great, right? I'm not dead yet. But then, of course, the velociraptors escape. And that scene, that fantastic scene where they get into the kitchen, and a raptor, like, takes his terrible claw, you all know what I'm talking about, and he moves it down, and he opens the door. A woman in the theater yelled, and I jumped. Not gonna lie, I jumped out of my seat. And, you know, the end happens, and the T-Rex attacks the velociraptor, and all the heroes escape on the helicopter, which I was convinced they wouldn't. And the John Williams score comes up, credits hit, lights go up, and everyone starts to leave the theater. And I feel around, and I'm not dead. In fact, I'm very much alive. In fact, I survived Jurassic Park, and I go to school on Monday, and I have joined the ranks of the rest of the students who have seen Jurassic Park. The movie continues to be important and special for me. My birthday is October 14th, and the VHS of Jurassic Park comes out on October 14th. And I have my copy, and my best friend who's spending the night because it's my birthday, comes, and he has his brand new copy of Jurassic Park, which obviously means we have to watch it twice that night. I'm on an airplane, and I'm sitting next to my dad, and it's about 6 months after the movie comes out, and he asked me what my favorite dinosaur was, and I said, well, it's the Dilophosaurus, obviously, because he could shoot, and he has the neck frills. And my dad hands me, I was 10, hands me a pack of Dilophosaurus jawbreakers. I know, right? Isn't that the nicest thing? I'm in high school, and I'm in class, and in French class, and there's this guy named Mike who I always thought was kind of a tool, but it turns out that his favorite movie is Jurassic Park 2, so suddenly we have something in common, and he's my best friend now, and like we've traveled the world together. And when I'm feeling down and low, and I just realize that I can't do this again because I'm leaving New York, but when I'm having a bad day and nothing's going my way, I go to Times Square and I go to Toys R Us and I go to the second floor and I go stand in front of the animatronic T-Rex that they have, and it makes me feel so good. I'm an adult, I swear. So I'm moving to Los Angeles to pursue a dream. A dream of making movies. And whenever I tell somebody this, they ask me, what kind of movies do I want to make? And I didn't know what to tell them for the longest time. But I know the answer. And so I kind of like, I take a very stately pose, and I look at them, and I say, with as much seriousness as I can muster, I want to make movies that scare the shit out of 10-year-old boys. So that's it. Thank you very much for coming.